G'day, guys, and welcome back to AdosTheGreat YouTube channel. So, guys, it is full time at the Rabbitohs and Sharks game. 27-18 winners. The Rabbitohs came out there, so I'm very happy about that. So, let's look at the play-by-play. So, in the first minute of the game, Tavita Tatar came off with a HIA. He failed that. Jai Arrow came on for him. We then saw a Lockie Ilias line break that led to a try. Ilias scored that one, obviously. So that was 4-0 to the Rabbitohs. Latrell Mitchell kicked it. So that was 6-0. A few penalties were given away by both sides, and an error from Cameron Murray gave Cronulla the ball. Braden Trindle kicked a 40-20, which was look, I think Braden Trindle had a fantastic game, to be honest. Very, very strong game for the Sharks. Campbell Graham then made a line break. It was a good line break too. I think Latrell put him through the gap, and then he got the ball away to Isaac Thompson, but Isaac Thompson was tackled there and lost the ball just outside of the try line. We then saw a few interchanges. Oregon Kafusi on for the Sharks. Tommy Burgess on for Davey Mawale. Straight after those interchanges, Braden Trindle scored a try. It was a pretty good try, to be honest. Like, it was a bit of a kick there from Will Kennedy. Braden Trindle got it, put a few little soccer kicks through, and scored the try there. Then Jai Arrow injured his hamstring. I don't know how long he's going to be out for. My apologies on that. The phone ringing there. So Shaq Mitchell came on for him, and Shaq was amazing. Alex Johnston then made a line break and an error. So that was disappointing. We then saw another interchange for the Sharks with Toby Rudolph going off and Cameron McInnes coming on. Then Jack Williams came on for Dale Finucane. Couple of errors for Isaac Thompson and Will Kennedy, one after the other. A set restart for the Rabbitohs led to a Keon Kalolmatangi line break and a try. Rabbitohs went up 10-6. Latrell made it 12-6. A couple of errors in a short period of time for Campbell Graham. We went up to the video referee for a captain's challenge just before halftime. Now, I was furious about this because you could tell it was a fucking error. And this grinds my gears, right? So Alex Johnston jumps up, the ball comes off him, and I can't remember who caught it in an offside position. I think it was Michael Cheekham. So AJ then goes to Cameron Murray and he's like, I didn't touch it. And I was pissed off because I'm like, why the fuck do you listen to your winger? But he did, and they got the penalty off that, which, look, at the end of the day, it was an unsuccessful challenge, and either way they would have gotten the penalty. But it's just a waste of a challenge. Like, it wasn't necessary. Sharks scored off that. Sione Katoa getting the try down the sideline, and that put the Sharks 12-all with the Rabbitohs going into half-time. Into the second half, Cameron Murray gave away a penalty. Cameron McInnes got a line break, but Oregon Kafusi knocked it on. I tell you what, man, Lockie Ilias was outstanding tonight. I'm going to say this right now, man. Lachlan Ilias is the best defensive halfback in the NRL. And I know I'm going to get a lot of people saying, mate, that's coming from a biased South fan. I don't give a crap. Honestly, if you don't think I think he's the best defensive halfback in the NRL. If you don't think he's up there, at least in the top three, then I think you're kidding yourself. He had a really good game both on offense and defense tonight, but he's known more for his defense than his offense. Tommy Burgess gave up an error. Lucky for us, Toby Rudolph gave up an error as well. Campbell Graham made him pay with the try. 16-12, Rabbitohs went up. Latrell Mitchell made it 18-12. We then saw a couple more substitutions. David Mawale came on for Tom Burgess and Wade Graham on for Cameron McInnes. Then Shaq Mitchell made an error. Another player I thought was outstanding was Shaq Mitchell. Oregon Kafusi came off. Braden Hamlin-Uele came on. We then saw a late tackle penalty against Britain Nakora, which Rabbitohs made that 20-12 with a Latrell Mitchell penalty goal. Tom Burgess on and Shaq Mitchell off. Line break for Braden Hamlin-Uele, and then a dangerous tackle from Sione Katoa. Not too much more from that. There was another dangerous tackle from Braden Hamlin-Uele, which I personally thought he should have been sent off, or Simbin, I should say. Campbell Graham scored his second try with a slick bit of play there. And we saw, finally we got a Simbin. Wade Graham, the dickhead, I was so pissed off. So David Moala had to go off because of the HIA, and Wade Graham just flogged him. It was obviously high, and I was furious about it. I was like, mate, he's got to go. But they didn't send him off at the time. I was so annoyed. And then finally, after the try had been scored, they checked it, and they did eventually send him off, Simbin him. So I was happy about that. That was just, it was bullshit. I was so pissed off. Wade Graham, look, I understand he's trying to fire his team up, but it wasn't necessary, and it was definitely high. Teague Wilton scored a ugly try for the Sharks, but at the end of the day, he still got the try. Not too much else happened at the end there. Latrell Mitchell put over a field goal late in the game to get them up 27-18, and that pretty much wrapped it up there. So if we look at player stats, for Cronulla, I think their best player was Trindle. Trindle had a really good game. Off the bench, I thought McInnes was really good. A few errors late in the game, but I thought he was pretty good there. Katoa, I thought, had some good carries. Other than that, not really too much to talk about. Blake Brayley had a pretty good game, 51 tackles, only 2 misses. So, yeah, look, I'm not going to talk too much on the Sharks here. If you're watching this, I'm the Rabbitohs fan, so you're probably here to watch me talk about the Rabbitohs. So, for me, the standouts for the Rabbitohs, in my opinion, man of the match should have gone to Lockie Ilias. I'm not sure if it did or didn't. Mainly because I'm literally recording this after the game. But, he had a good game. 1 line break, 2 line break assists, got a try assist, so he was fantastic. Our top run meter was Campbell Graham. I'd say at least 2 votes in the Dally M there for Campbell Graham. My votes would go 2 votes for Graham, 3 votes for Lockie Ilias, and then I'd probably say 1 vote for Cam Murray. But very strong performance there from some of the boys. I thought off the bench, Shaq Mitchell was outstanding. If I get his meters here, so he had 11 runs for 119 meters. Davey Mawale had 14 runs for 138 meters. Tom Burgess, 15 runs for 155 meters. The tackles, Damien Cook, 47 tackles, 2 misses. Cam Murray, 51 tackles, 3 misses. I thought Blake Taff was really good off the bench. Coming on, making 6 tackles with no misses, so that efficiency was very good in a short amount of time. Shaq Mitchell, another player, he had 26 tackles with no misses. Lockie Ilias, just outstanding in defense. I thought he was phenomenal. Look, I'm really proud of the Rabbitohs' performance there, especially because we had 15 players for most of that game. After 23 minutes, we were at 15 players. To play, 3/4 of that game with only 2 bench spots, and realistically 1 because Blake Taff only played for 8 minutes. So I think we did really well, and I'm very proud of the Rabbitohs' efforts, guys. Let me know what you guys thought. Did you think it was a good game? Did you think it was sloppy? I'd love to hear from you guys. Drop it in the comments. But, it's going to wrap it up from me. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And as always, my friends, I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.